symbol of Somali resistance, fighting for the greater Somalia dream. Military in the early 1960s, strength, strategy, and struggles. After gaining independence in 1960, the Somali Republic struggled to build a national military. The new government merged former colonial military forces, Italian and British, to form the Somali National Army, SNA. The Somali military initially had limited equipment and training, relying on older weapons from World War II, and the early years were marked by an ongoing need for military modernization. Despite these constraints, Somalia quickly saw the importance of a well-trained, ideologically driven military force, influenced by the broader Cold War dynamics. The Somali military numbered around 5,000 to 6,000 active duty soldiers, with support from guerrilla fighters from the Ogaden region. Somalia had a small but growing air force, aided by Soviet and Egyptian military advisors. By the mid-1960s, Somali officers, like General Salaad Gabeyre Kediye, had been trained in the Soviet Union and Egypt, bringing modern Soviet tactics back to Somalia. Soviet-supplied infantry weapons, along with Soviet tanks and artillery, began to modernize the Somali military. Despite the Soviet help, Somalia's air force and artillery were far less advanced than Ethiopia's. The military struggled with logistical support and equipment maintenance, which hindered its ability to perform in extended conflicts. The 1964 Ethiopian-Somali border war was sparked by territorial disputes in the Ogaden region, where ethnic Somalis lived under Ethiopian control. Somali forces, under General Kediye's leadership, launched a series of swift and strategic raids into the Ogaden, hoping to incite rebellion and secure the region for Somali control. The Somali military adopted guerrilla tactics, moving quickly and using the local population for intelligence, while disrupting Ethiopian supply lines. Military performance. Somali forces made early gains, capturing key Ethiopia, with its larger military, had being lost over 3,000 to 4,000 Ethiopia soldiers killed or wounded. Briefly, he became a symbol of Somali resistance, fighting for the greater Somalia dream, controlling some of the Ogaden region. General Kediye's leadership played a pivotal role in the battle tactics, utilizing mobile forces and irregular units that knew the desert terrain and could fight with high flexibility. SGK's role in military reform. After the 1964 war, General Salaad Gabeyre Kediye became a driving force in the reform and modernization of the Somali military. Kediye pushed for a professionalized army with better training and equipment, and under his influence, the Soviet Union continued to supply weapons to Somalia, along with military advisors. He helped structure the military with a more centralized command and encouraged greater political education within the ranks, combining military doctrine with nationalist ideologies. Medal of Honor for the War with Ethiopia. Following the 1964 war, General Kediye was received the medal in a state ceremony in Mogadishu, likely at Villa Somalia or a military parade ground. Awarded Somalia's Medal of Honor by President Aden Abdullah Osman for his courage and strategic leadership during the conflict. After the 1964 Ethiopian-Somali border war, General Kediye was recognized for his leadership, bravery, and strategic brilliance. Despite Somalia being the underdog in the conflict, SGK's tactics helped the Somali National Army hold the line against Ethiopia, boost morale, and earn international attention. The ceremony was a recognition of not just his bravery on the battlefield, but also his efforts to strengthen the Somali military and his vision for a unified Somali state. Summary: Salaad Gabeyre Kediye, the Desert Commander. General Salaad Gabeyre. Kediye emerged as one of the most significant military leaders of Somalia in the 1960s. His ability to navigate both Soviet and Somali nationalist ideologies helped him shape the future of the Somali National Army. Kediye's tactical brilliance, utilizing guerrilla warfare against a much stronger adversary, earned him both respect and fear from Ethiopia. Despite the Somali military's bravery and Kediye's brilliant leadership, you're absolutely right. Ethiopian forces had several key advantages during the 1964 Ethiopian-Somali border war. which prevented Somalia from achieving its goal of fully liberating or annexing the Ogaden region, despite brave resistance by the Somali National Army, SNA. Ethiopia had a much larger military force, with tens of thousands of active troops. Somalia's army, although determined and motivated, was much smaller. The Ethiopian military could field more infantry, tanks, and artillery units, especially near the border. Here's a clear breakdown of why Ethiopia maintained control over the contested Somali border territories, especially the Ogaden, during that war. Larger numbers. Ethiopia's population and military strength dwarfed Somalia's forces. Air superiority. Ethiopia's access to U.S. military aid provided them with aircraft that the Somalis could not match. Logistics and supply chains. Ethiopia was able to sustain a longer war effort due to superior infrastructure and external support. A military tent in the Ogaden Desert. Dust blows through the flap as a lantern flickers. SGK, in uniform, leans over a map with worn eyes and a quiet fire in his voice. He speaks to his junior officers, but also to history.